in order for you to see the next few steps, we've actually placed the headboard up on a box to lift it up. All right, what I wanted you to see is the end of the border here. We're going to fold the corners in, we're going to bend the face down, and we're going to staple that right on the front of the top of the leg. Now once that's in place, the border itself is pretty much finished. What we're going to do is work our way right around that back edge and across. Now we'll clean up that little bit a little later when I can reach it better. Now our next step, the fabric. Now the fabric is sheared or gathered, but it's sometimes unruly trying to pull it over and make hide nor hair what's happening. So we use my old steam iron, and what I like to do is grab the fabric, it creates some pleats in it, use your iron just to set those pleats. Now if you've got an iron that spits out calcium, try to borrow someone's iron that doesn't. Yours needs to be cleaned. Now you see what's happening here? It's creating these nice pleats, everything's laying down, and once we get this part of it done, we just go along the outside edge, we start stapling it down. It's that easy. See, and you were worrying how this was going to come out. I can't pleat this. You can. Just need some tricks on how to do it. Look at that. It just lays right in. Now remember this corner. Here's where I told you. We added a little bit of fabric into this corner because when we start turning this outside edge, we start running short on fabric. So right a couple inches from it, let's start thinking about taking a little bit of extra fabric from these pleats and pulling some of that fabric into the corners. Think about pleating and steaming some of the fabric to go in at an angle. Even I can only do a little section at a time with this, and you've almost got to hand pleat these corners a little bit and then set them with the steam iron. That's good. Okay, let's start putting our fabric down. Now the trick is to try to keep the flow even. Don't pull too hard because you make a divot in the border. Pull down, get your shape, and then come back, help with your pleats on the outside, look at your shape. Keep going along. You know, if you have to tuck a little in here or there, you know, put it in place. Now, even me doing it upside down and backwards, it still came out real nice and even. You can do the same thing. It's not that hard. I've shown you how to set your pleats in. All I'm doing is just taking the last little bit, bringing it over with a pleat, and stapling it in. We just work our way all the way around the headboard like that, and it's done. And I'll show you how to finish off the ends. All right, before I finish off the rest of the border here, let me finish the top of this leg, the bottom of the border. Quite simply what we want to do, you don't want to pull real hard, you start pulling the pleats out of the leg, but just taut enough to where you have a nice smooth bottom. Push right up against the plywood. All right, what we want to do next, we've finished this off at the base. We want to relieve the tension on the fabric so we can wrap it around. The easiest way to do that is a straight cut into about here. Then I'm going to cut to this corner, which is the edge of the plywood leg, or the 2x4 leg. Then cut down into this corner. We'll take those fabrics and wrap them around. Let me show you. Feel where it is. Get right into that corner. Come over here. I want to find that. Now, you can take this tail and just baste it down to keep it in place. The side, what we're going to do with this fabric is just fold this under, and some of it might come out just on the edge, but we're going to just wrap that around the back side and staple it. When we finish the leg off, we'll be finishing this whole leg area off around the top.